NBA. Straya, how are you going? How you going? Are you right? You should be. Why is that, Jim? Well, it's TGIF, am I right? Fridays, how good are they? I'll tell you what, I'd hate to be a tin in about 45 minutes. I'm your host, James Clements. This is NBA Australia. I'm in Larry Armour Studios. And tell you what, we nailed today's game, didn't we? Jeez. We're going to talk out Warriors-Wolves Game 2 and set you up for a big NBA playoff weekend ahead, of course. A couple of other things. We'll talk about the Coach GOAT convo. A little bit more Jayson Tatum gear because that's fun. And also an Ant-Man scare for the ages. Jeez. We came close to having like a series without maybe Steph and Anthony Edwards. And boy, howdy, would that suck. Anyway, so we're going to do the game wrap. We've got That's Not a Knife, Old Mate, No Mate, Spud of the Night, Better Than Lonzo Ball. We've got some Yeah Nahs, the Unpopular Opinion of the Day, and Outback Takehouse. We're serving up a flame grilled take. This is a particularly fun one. I'm just saying, you better listen to the flame grilled take. What else? There's a magic tweet of the week, D-head of the week. It is Friday. We'll do the LUC Longley Memorial Role Player of the Week, and we'll pick and preview every single game for the weekend. We have a raft of Game 3s. It's going to be awesome. So strap in. Let's get into it. TGIF. It's a ripper Friday episode of NBA Australia. It's episode 1285. Let's go!
This is Josh Giddey.
G'day, this is Andrew Gaze.
This is Jack White.
This is Joe Ingles.
This is Dyson Daniels.
This is Chris Anstey.
This is Matthew Delvedova.
This is Shane Hill.
Hi, this is Ryan Brockhoff.
This is Mitch Creek. This is Mick Kay.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening and watching NBA Australia.
This is NBA Australia. Let's do it.
Watch out for the shark attack.
You better, especially if you're some cutouts of Chuck. That was pretty fun. Anyway, let's get into today's show with the daily.
Oh, is it a whip around? Is it, Jim?
Yes. Isn't this usually where you have a bit of a whinge? Nah, I'm good. Had to go to the physio for me Achilles this morning. Go get a hairy. Had to go buy a tie. Who wears a tie? Seriously. Just ridiculous. Anyway, your mate Jim's going to look very svelte and suave tomorrow. Suave, that's it. Anyway, let's get into it. The latest news from today. We have Hallie being warned for his celly. That's right, Tyrese Halliburton got warned. He got warned for the big balls dance. God, to be honest, we got to have a sliding scale. And I guess they kind of do, right? Or else he would have just been flat out fined. I love that he didn't get a fine for doing the big balls dance because he hit a fucking awesome game winner that deserved the big balls dance. Like, it was awesome. So, enjoyed that. He expected to be fined and he wasn't. That is one of the great all-time feelings as well, right? When you're like, oh, God, I'm going to get a fucking email from the league office, Adam Silver going, Tyrese, we can't have you disrespecting the children like that. You can't show off your giant testicles even after hitting a game winner in the playoffs. Instead, Adam Silver's like, don't do that again or I will fine you. That's just a bit weird. So good on you, Tyrese Halliburton. I reckon, not even flame grilled take, but he's got enough like goody two shoes vibes and like enough credits in the bank that if Anthony Edwards did that shit, you better believe he'd get fucking fined like that. Whereas Halliburton, because he's a massive nerd dork, like he's fine. He gets a warning. It's like, oh, come on. It's like the teacher's pet when they actually fuck up and do something at school when you're growing up. Like, they never get punished as badly as, like, the other kids, like, I don't know, your mate fucking Jim over here, who was, like, a non-stop fucking troublemaker. And so, like, when the good kids fuck up, I'd be sitting there going, what the fuck, man? If I did that, I'd get suspended. This is bullshit. Anyway. So good job, Tyrese Halliburton, for not getting fined. Other bits of news, obviously the Cavs, that's right, our beloved Cleveland. boy. Staring down 0-2 against Halliburton's Indiana Pacers. There is optimism apparently that the Cavs' 3 players who missed Game 2, that would be Darius Rucker, Judy Garland, Evan Mobley, and DeAndre Hannah, all of them could actually try to play tomorrow's game against the Pacers. Interesting. And I don't, like, it's kind of weird. You look at the Garland injury and, like, the toe, and that's a bit weird. Mobley with an ankle, and I don't know. All 3 could play. Does it, like, you're sort of going, oh, geez, it might screw up their rhythm. They've got no rhythm. They got their ass beat on a game. They were up fucking 1,000,000 points and blew that lead against the Pacers. I just want my good dudes back in my team at this point. I don't want to pussyfoot around. I just want to, like, fucking nail it. And the other little bits and bobs, Steph Curry, yeah, look, so he's out for a week. He's missing Game 2 today, 3, 4 at the very, very least. And that's basically all being confirmed. And then the other bit of news that sort of came out of this is that Steve Kerr's like, yeah, he was fucking just in the locker room crying, mate. Because he was sad. It's like, yes, Steve, that's why people tend to cry. He's like, yeah, he's never had a hammy, and it's just like, oh, this fucking sucks. It's like, yeah, tell me about it. As a man dealing with an Achilles at the moment, Jesus. Me and Steph are the same, just saying. Right, very quick game wrap, because today's was a bit of a fucking laugher. Before we get into the rest of the show, game wrap, game 2, Golden State, Minnesota. Minnesota kicked the flying fuck out of him, 117-93. Hey, Jim, what did you get from this? I don't know, beyond the fact that I was completely fucking right and nailed this one on the head. Again, if you're following our vibes over at Dabble, one of my specials on there was the Minnesota kicked the fuck out of the Warriors pick, which was Minnesota by minus 17.5, right? So, was looking at that going, look, if they win, they're going to fucking win big. They're at home. They're down 0-1. I can't quite see this Warriors team, sans Steph, having already gotten that one win, gotten the split on the road, and now they don't have Steph, and the Wolves played like absolute dog shit in Game 1. I expected them to bounce back, and they did in a big way. It was an ass whooping from the get-go, too. Like, fuck, what was it? They didn't score for 5 minutes, the Warriors. But hits a 3, and you're like, what the fuck has been going on? It was insane. So that was pretty funny. 13-0 run to start the game. Never looked back. It was their lowest first quarter score since the 2016 finals in Game 6 when they put up 11 points in that loss to Cleveland. Game 6, the first quarter of Game 6. So 15 points, the lowest first quarter ever in the playoffs basically since then. Brutal for the Warriors. And Steve Kerr's just like, fuck it. We're throwing shit against the wall today, boys. He played 14 dudes. 14. It was insane. Anyway, it's like 56-39 at the half. And you're like, hey, Wolves, can you not fuck around? And then they kind of fucked around at the start of the third quarter. Johnny Kuminga's causing a little bit of havoc. He hits a 3. It's a 7-point game out of fucking nowhere. And then the Wolves put this one to bed. It was like an 11-0 run. They're back up 18 points and it was all over. The biggest sort of thing to come out of this was obviously Ant-Man going down. It looked brutal because he sort of got his foot landed on. And it's not... like when it's kind of like a stretched out body thing, usually it sort of folds up on the ankle as it's going over. This is like sort of going the other way, which looks like it fucking hurts way more. So how he was able to come back and actually be pretty fucking good is pretty amazing. And also, that's it. He did hurt his ankle. He's helped off the floor. Looked really, really bad. He comes back on later and is just still pretty fucking good, which is crazy. And the other one was obviously Draymond spazzing the fuck out and just like a full body spasm. He just go and fucking clocking our man Naz Reid in the head with an elbow and somehow not getting fucking kicked out. I don't know why Draymond is kissed on his weird looking dick, but it's fucked. Seriously, any other player does that and then screams, this is fucking bullshit at the refs, they'd be on their bike, but not Draymond for some fucking unknown reason. What a crock of shit. Anyway, they fucking rolled right over the top of them. The Wolves they were threatening, but they never really got close enough to really put a scare in the Wolves again. For the Warriors, you had Kuminga have 18 points. Trace Jackson Davis, 15. They shot 14 of 17 between them, but no one else hit a fucking shot. Seriously, you take away those 14 made buckets. The rest of the Warriors made 20 between them on about, I think, 49 attempts, 49 attempts, something like that. No, 59 attempts, I think. Absolutely fucking bizarre shit. So, great job by Cumbucket and Trace Jackson Davis, but absolute shithousery from Jimmy Butler, who had 17 points on 6 of 13 shooting. Watch out, playoff Jimmy's here. Playoff Jimmy's here. Takes 13 shots with no Steph. Buddy Hield hit 4 threes, but he shot 5 of 14 overall for his 15 points. And yeah, nothing else really going at all for the Warriors. They went 9 of 32 from downtown. Whereas the Wolves went 16 of 37. I think it's like 3 times as many threes as they hit in game 1, which is nuts. Headlined, of course, by Julius Randle. Because of course it was. He was so fucking good in this game. And I expected a really big Ant-Man game, and he was well on his way before he twisted his ankle. He wasn't shooting great. Somehow he shot better after he came back from the ankle, but anyway. Randle was fantastic with 24, 7, 11, 16 for McDaniels, 29 and 5 for Ant-Man, 20 off the bench for Nicky Alexander-Walker as well, 11, 3 and 5 for Naz Reid after getting fucking clocked. Just what the fuck. But still, this was just such a good all-round ass kicking. It's a good old-fashioned ass kicking by the Wolves, so we're not going to belabor it too much. The series is tied 1-1. Let's do an NBA Australia approved performance of the night. Come on, let's do it. Yeah.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
Julius Randle. What a game. He is 24, 7 and 11, right? Shot 10 of 17 from the floor, 1 of 4 from downtown. He basically contributed 54 points to this game because he scores 24. His assists and everything led to 30 actual points as well, which is fucking crazy. He was so good in a game where it's like, hang on, what's going on here? It's like, ooh, Golden State don't have Steph. And it's like, this is the perfect moment for Julius Randle to have a Julius Randle game where he's like, all right, today, I'll be the best player we have. And you're like, cool, that's pretty fucking handy because Ant-Man can't hit a shot and he's just twisted his ankle. So great job. There was a great stat floating around that this is the 732nd game that Julius Randle's played. And it's only the 4th time in his entire career, and only the first time that didn't involve overtime, that he's hit 10 shots and he's had 10 assists. That was awesome. Responsible for 54 points for the game. Julius Randle. What a fucking way to step up. I enjoyed that. Who was Spud of the night, though?
Spud, 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 it is Spud of the night.
Spud of the night. There you go. Moses Moody. Moody. Oh, if no one gets that joke, just go, it's Kendrick Perkins trying to say a word. The guy's a moron. Moses Moody. Go, get over here. Come on, Moody. 0 of 5 from the floor, 0 of 3 from downtown. Airballed a jump shot on a fast break. That's the one that sealed his spot as the spud of the night because this was one of the more egregious. Like Mitch Robinson last night, airballing that free throw. Moses Moody today, airballing just a jumper from about 6 feet. It's like, what the? You had a 2-on-1. How do you not score here? That was the Warriors' night summed up. Tatum as well. I wanted to bang home a couple more points about Jayson Tatum and just how bad he's been against the Knickerbockers. He's 12 of 42 for this series. Josh Hart has scored more points than him and made a lot more shots. He's 5 of 20 from downtown as Jayson Tatum. He's taken 9 free throws in the 2 games, and he has 8 turnovers, including the one at the end of the game in game 2. Absolute just shit yourself territories for Jayson Tatum. And you're probably going to hear a lot, oh, what's wrong with Jayson Tatum? Why do people not like Jayson Tatum? I have some thoughts later. Trust me. Who's old mate, no mates?
Old mate, no mates.
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 Who's got no mates today? There you go. Rusty getting booed in OKC yesterday was a bit of a, come on, man. Like, do you think it was his choice to ever leave OKC? Like, if Russell Westbrook had his way, he'd still be there, right? Seriously. But anyway, old mate, no mates, again, is, and it's a bit of a pantsing of the night as well. The knives being out for Tatum is so fucking funny. I don't know, because if you've been listening to NBA Straya for, I don't know, any amount of time, you got to respect his ability as a basketball player, but there's just something fucking off about him, right? And people are confused as to why people don't like him. It's like, oh, but he does everything right. Exactly. Fucking, he's beige. It's just nothing. And what Mikal Bridges is doing to Jayson Tatum, where he's just like, all right, what is this? The fourth quarter? Check this out. I'm going to fucking stop you. I'll hit a bunch of shots. We'll win both these games and you guys can fuck off. It is an all-time pantsing what Mikal Bridges is doing to Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown basically on the perimeter in this series so far. And Tatum, as a result, is just getting dacked left, right, and center across the media, which is fucking hilarious, and I'm all the way about it. But it's definitely like, the teacher's pet who sort of just does something weird and, like, gets dacked by, like, another kind of weird nerd in the schoolyard, and you're like, oh, that's weird, nerd on nerd crime. And then suddenly it's just, like, sets off a rash of dackings, and you're like, hey, you probably had that one coming. Now, no longer like a protected species, that nerd, and that's Jayson Tatum in this very fraught analogy. But anyway, Tatum is just getting dacked left, right, and center, and to the point where he's like, facing the media and just like, he's like, yeah, I take full ownership of the way that I've played in this series and can't sugarcoat anything. I need to be better and I expect to be a lot better. Even that just is so fucking uninspiring. It's like Kobe would have been like, I'm going to fucking tear some prick's throat out. And as much as, like, the antipathy I carry towards Kobe, you got to respect his fucking just insane personality and leaning into it. All right, better than Bronny James.
Lonzo was the best player in high school. He was the best player in college. You think he'll get to the pros and be like, I made it to the pros, now I can be average. He's coming for everybody.
Coming for everybody. Josh Minott. Jim, what do you mean, Josh Minott? I mean Josh Minott. He scored 2 points today and had 1 assist in 3 minutes and garbage time at the end of this one. The 2 points that he did score, however, were prettier than any Bronny James has ever scored, probably prettier than any Lonzo Ball has ever scored, and almost assuredly prettier than any Ben Simmons has ever scored. He scored a single bucket. And look, I was watching this, I'm like, what the fuck was that? It's this beautiful wraparound shimmy hay finger roll, like he's fucking George the Iceman Gervin or David Thompson from the 70s or something. It was beautiful. Like, it's a shot that you just want to put straight in the pool room. It's incredible.
This is going straight to the pool room.
You have to go and watch the video. It's fucking awesome. Josh Minott, you legend, better than Ben Simmons, Bronny James, and Lonzo Ball today, just for that single shot. Amazing. Fingers kissing emoji. All right, everyone's favorite moment of the week. Indiana Pacers' Tyrese Halliburton hit the game-winning three to put the Pacers up 2-0 in the series against the Cavaliers. He made everyone eat their words that he was overrated with this outstanding playoff performance. In the first round against the Milwaukee Bucks, Halliburton averaged 26 points, 10 assists, and 5 rebounds. In Game 1 against the Cavs, he scored 22 points and 13 assists, and in Game 2 tonight, he had 19 points and 9 rebounds. What? Okay, what do we say? Thanks, ChatGP Magic. What the? Seriously, that's just... Come on, Magic. What happened to, like, just yelling at your assistant and making them tweet out what you were thinking? It's a bit weird. Anyway, finally, Dickhead of the Week.
Dickhead of the Week!
All right, if you're watching on the YouTube, you can see my awesome Simpson versus Tatum payback t-shirt, which I only just realized Dredrick Tatum, Jayson Tatum, Poe Tatum, don't matter. Knicks in 4. What the fuck? But Draymond Green, just full body spasm into elbowing Naz Reid in the fucking bonce and somehow doesn't get kicked out. So he's already got 5 techs and 2 flagrants in these playoffs. He's played like 8 games. It's insane. And during a dead ball tech, he's elbowed someone in the fucking head. How is he just not getting kicked out? Like, it makes no fucking sense. The guy's a menace. He's a lunatic. He's a piece of shit. And one of the great all-time corresponding statistics is Draymond Green getting kicked out of basketball games that Steph Curry is not playing for the Golden State Warriors. It is one of the great statistical correlations of all time because that dude goes, we don't have Steph. Fuck this. I'm out. Amazing gear. All right, let's do some very quick ENRs right after this.
This is Cam Glidden.
This is Anthony Drimmick.
This is Mitch McCarron.
This is Jason Kadee.
This is Daryl McDonald.
Hey guys, this is Hugh Greenwood.
Yo, what's going on? This is Illy.
This is Mark Worthington, or commonly known as Wortho, and you're listening to NBA Australia.
You listen to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA
And you're
Australia.
listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
Oh, yeah. Let's do it. It's brought to you by, I don't know, maybe you guys. If you want to shout us a beer, shout us a coffee, go to the link in our bio. You can do exactly that. Or you can follow us over on Dabble, use the code NBA Australia, jump on board. You can sign up using the link in our show description as well, or in that link in bio. But it's very easy just to shout us a beer or shout us a coffee just via that link. So go check it out. All right, we've got Wolves Warriors. Is this going to be the most depressing series? Out of the 4 series we have left of these East and West semis, it kind of is, because every time they cut to Steph, I just get sad. You're like, this sucks. He should be playing. What the fuck is going on? And then Ant-Man does his ankle, and you're like, what the fuck is happening, man? Like, the world's worst outcome here is Ant-Man is also out in this series. So fingers crossed he's okay, but it is just horribly, horribly shithouse, isn't it? So yeah, not great. Did not enjoy. Would not recommend Ant-Man getting hurt. But yeah, it does lose a lot of its spice without Steph there, because you just want to go see Ant-Man go fucking toe-to-toe with one of the all-time greats. You know, outside of Draymond fucking trying to knock Naz Reid's fucking block off. But either way, it's annoying and could get even worse. Fingers crossed it's okay. Hey, Jim, Boston, do they really have a shot of coming back in this series? Yes, of course they do. Why is that? Well, you see, threes. Yeah, remember how, like, the entire vibe of Boston all year was like, we'll take 1 million threes, but we'll also hit 1 million threes. They hit basically 18 threes a game in the regular season. They took 48 a game. And they've hit, and like basically they were hitting them at like 37%. They've shot 25% on threes so far. They've taken 100 of them, remember? And they've missed 75. An all-time record. Swings and roundabouts, I almost 100% just believe that the Celtics are going to hit every 3 now from here on out, and that's just how it's going to go. So, of course, they can get all the way back into it, but we had a great comment on the old Twitter. Rocky M, living and dying by the 3-ball is gross. The basketball gods are sending a message. Oh, yes, they are. This is a fucking wrap across the knuckles, isn't it? For the Boston Celtics. Flying too close to the sun. It's like, ooh, you're going to out-math everybody, are you? Here's Mikal Bridges stopping all your shit. Check. And here's Jalen Brunson, a human bowling ball, to stop your shit as well. Sucked in, Celtics. The thing is, they'll probably hit fucking 23s in Game 3 and win. So, you know, here we are. GOAT coaches. This is sort of like where we get to, we got a bunch of feedback. A lot of people saying Phil Jackson, a bunch of people saying Greg Popovich. Who is your GOAT coach? Who do you like? For me, it's still Phil Jackson. Yeah. Because you think about, and somebody actually wrote this out on Facey as well, I think, on one of the social media spots. Like, just the simple idea of being out there and being, like, sort of responsible for the personalities of Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, and then controlling the sort of just shitty rockiness between Shaq and Kobe and the rest of those early 1000 Lakers, and then winning even more titles later on, is just incredible. I think that's almost like this sort of very, very personality-driven, getting everybody in the right direction. It's really fucking impressive. 11 rings is fucking obviously very impressive. But to sort of corral those egos and those personalities and point them in the right direction, to me, is fucking huge. Because Popovich, I mean, I made the joke, Tim Duncan merchant the other day, but by the same token, it's really like your culture is much easier to establish if you have buy-in from a superstar from the get-go, right? And that's what Pop basically did as soon as Tim Duncan comes in. He's the perfect sort of foil for the perfect addendum to what Pop wants to do in the locker room, gets all the other players on board. Any other players who aren't on board with that, they get fucked off. You saw it over the years. Tony Parker came this fucking close and then became like a model citizen when he wasn't breaking fucking champagne bottles over people's heads, allegedly. But that's like that culture in one spot when you've got one superstar for the same amount of for a million years. Like, yeah, you have to be a good dude and a good coach to make that culture actually succeed and work. But it also is a little bit easier when you got Tim Duncan. Pat Riley, going from getting the Lakers pointed in the right direction in the 80s, then going to the Knicks, then winning a title with the Heat again. Like, that's also really impressive because that's also sort of building different types of cultures in different places, which is, I think, really fucking impressive. Steve Kerr, Golden State, pretty awesome as well. Pop tree in the one spot. He's got Steph the entire time. I think it's a little bit easier. But Pop is awesome. Red Auerbach was fantastic. All the shit throughout the 60s and whatever. I mean, sure. But for me, it's still Phil Jackson. So let us know what you think. Amazing other coaches like George Karl and Don Nelson and stuff. If only they'd won a title is one of those ones, you know. But still, let us know what you reckon. All right, unpopular opinion of the day.
Now look at me, please. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. To go on top of that, I think it's really fucking hard and probably harder to win titles in different places, no matter the talent that you get, right? It's like there's a lot of really fucking talented basketball players. And we've seen that over the last, 6 years. We've had a different championship winner every single fucking year. It's just so hard to get back there. And the way that Phil did it with three-peat, back-to-back is awesome. It's like, it just shows how hard it is that Pop never went back-to-back as well, right? But there's a lot to be said for like taking culture with you and going to other places, getting people to buy in. There's also a lot to be said for staying in the one place because you fucking love it and you get to build a culture and it's very cool and you're very successful. So, I don't know. But I'm just saying, to go into different places and go, righto, how do we win this? Like, for all the shit I give Draymond, it was fascinating to hear him talk about coaching and like how the Warriors sort of take in what your strengths are and adapt to them rather than making you adapt to your system, to their system, right? He was talking about Buddy Hield and how Buddy chases the ball. And they're like, no, we're not going to bash that out of you. We just want to figure out how to fit that into what we do so it works. And it's like, that's fucking cool. So good job by Steve Kerr. But anyway, the unpopular opinion is as well, it's just really fucking hard to like love Jayson Tatum, isn't it? Like, I like my players with just a hint of fucking spice. Like, if he were a dish, he'd just be like plain mashed potatoes. Like, we haven't fucking put any butter in this motherfucker. Like, there's no cream. There's no sour cream. We haven't even put salt and pepper on this motherfucker. It's just mashed potatoes. And you're like, sure, it's filling, right? He does everything right. I get it. But it's like a photocopy of a photocopy. The dude's got zero personality. And he seems nice. But if you ever, like, we've all met people. You've met folks and you're just like, right. I'm not entirely convinced an original, unique thought has ever crossed your mind. I mean, I assume other people have these thoughts when they meet other people because, I don't know, I've met a bunch of them. I've worked with a bunch of them. And you're just like, ugh, yikes, right? And that's him. And it's like, oh, well, why don't people love him? It's like, because that puts people off. When you're so lacking in sauce, if you're so sauceless, people aren't going to like go, oh, this is all. That's why people fucking love LaMelo. Like, that dude has sauce. He's got fucking rocks for brains, I reckon. But he's got sauce. His game has sauce. Trae Young has sauce. Jalen Brunson. He's an interesting one because he doesn't quite have sauce, but he's got chutzpah. He's got stones. And like clutch scoring and being a fucking dude in like when it matters. That's pretty awesome. And Tatum, the way they win the title last year was very impressive. No doubt about it. But by the same token, it was also very sauceless. So it does lead me. And here we go. Into Friday's Outback Takehouse. It's Friday at Outback, and you know what that means? Oh yeah, 4-for-1 TGIF, oil drum cans full of icy cold, Foster's Lager. It's Australian for beer. Now guzzle it up, you fucking American dumb pricks. Because it's not really Australian for beer, but it is a good cold beer. So drink her up. And today's Flame Grilled take is, in 15 years' time, we might find out that Jayson Tatum is the first AI basketball player. Seriously. Like, wouldn't this be the most AI shit ever? The dude is basically out here machine learning at all times. It's like, it's like if the prompt was create a basketball player who likes his kid and is good. His game has zero memorable, unique qualities. So, hey, what's his fucking go-to move? Oh, it's a step back three that he misses most of the time. What's his personality? He loves his kid. Well, he must be the only person who's ever, like, seriously, a basketball player likes his kid? Wow. It's amazing. Dude looks, his entire personality is like if he Googled what to say after winning a title. What they gonna say now? That's what Steph said. We did it. Yay, daddy. We did it. He can't even take a photo that's original. He had to fucking recreate the Kobe photo like a giant fucking dork. We did it. What they going to say now? I don't know, Jason. Win a finals MVP. I fully expect him to come. Look, the best response he could have now is to come out and have 42 at MSG against the Knicks, win game 3. Just saying. But seriously, Jayson Tatum, AI basketball player. Machine learning. Zero actual unique qualities about him or his game, and literally zero source. Jayson Tatum is AI. All right. Not even the good AI, which is Allen Iverson. This is just AI. All right. How about a quick Australian Player Watch, which, I mean, doesn't really do much because Jingling Joe Ingles copped a did not play coach's decision in game 2. He was the only Wolf to actually not get out there as well, which is a bit of a shame. I'm like, come on, man. Just give him like 30 seconds just up and down the court. He's not going to get hurt, right? Let's put him out there, Chris Finch. Anyway, role player of the week. Let's press the button for this one. All right, role player of the week, Nicky Alexander-Walker. So I didn't want to bang on about him too much earlier in the game wrap. He is like this interesting litmus test for like how this Wolves team is going to go. So today he plays 26 minutes. He goes 4 of 6 from downtown and has 20 points. Nick Alexander is really fucking good sometimes. And when he is good, they tend to win. He was fucking horrible in game 1 and they lost. But he had 10 points in like the game 5 against the Lakers, hit a couple of threes. He wasn't that great through a couple of the other Lakers games, but it didn't matter. He is this fascinating sort of like, bellwether. Are you going to be okay today? And he's like, I don't know. We'll find out. 4 threes today. Awesome game. Great bounce back. Huge game 2 win. Nick Alexander-Walker, the defense that he plays, the energy with which he plays at most of the time is really, really, really important to this Wolves team. And therefore, he's our Luke Longley Role Player of the Week. All right. How about a bit of a Paddy Mills Game Day Baller Game Day Twitter check-in? Let's go. Paddy. Oh, Josh Giddey. Here we go. Oh, Gids was watching the footy and checking his super coach yesterday. I love that Josh Giddey is out there on super coach. Should get him in our league. What do you reckon? Nothing from Paddy, I think. Let's have a look. Just check from Paddy. No, nothing since his awesome post about being a Clipper. Right. Let's do some game previews for the weekend. Game previews. Thanks, Inadvertent Bane. Not a problem, Jim. How's it all going? Not bad. Bit of a busy day today. Watching the hoops. Go to the physio. Get a hairy. Buy a tie. Gonna go get some Mother's Day gifts for old mate from the Squids. Because I've already sorted all my shit. You just got to remember, when you got the Squids, they've got to get their mum something. But they're kids. And they don't do shit. I mean, they're not useless, but they're mostly just... Oh, Dad, I got something from the stall. It's like, I gave you $15, you spent $4. What are you doing, bro? You're fucking killing me here, mate. Anyway, right. Remember, with all the game picks and all the previews, etc., you can go follow all of our vibes over at Dabble. Use the code NBA Straya to chuck us a follow. Copy anything we got in there. Jump all over it. We crushed today's pick. We obviously doubled down on that one with the Wolves at the line and then at the minus 17.5 as well. A couple of the same gamers came very close. But I reckon Ant-Man would have crushed those as well if he hadn't twisted his ankle. So that was a bit of a bummer. But go do that. Use the code NBA Straya over at Dabble. Appreciate you heaps. Let's do it. Cleveland. Oh, yes. Cleveland at Indy. Game 3. Cleveland. I'm going the Cavs. Cavs minus 2.5. I was actually shocked. And I'm not usually shocked when you go, oh, this team's favorite. Indy have been so good in games 1 and 2. In Cleveland, they now go home where, fucking zap me if you heard this one before, role players play better at home. Yes, we get that. Cleveland's role players have also played like dog shit at home. If they get their dudes back tomorrow, I fully expect Cleveland to win in Indy in game 3. And especially, it's going to be mostly if Mobley plays, right? If Mobley's good and can move around even a little bit, that just gives them so much more on defense that I feel like they just stymie Indy a little bit, and the Cavs just assert themselves a little bit more and show us why they're a fucking 60-win team. So Cleveland minus 2.5 in game 3. That is a huge fucking game though, isn't it? Because if the Cavs are down 0-3, it's all over Red Rover. They have to win it, and they're on the road. Fascinating setup. What is this Cleveland team made up of? We're about to find out. If their 3 dudes come back, if Garland plays, if Mobley plays, if Hunter plays, I like their chances. But Indy, look, I've banged on about this for the fucking entire back half of this season. They're so fucking good. And when they're healthy, when it all clicks, it's so hard to get by them. But I think the Cavs have got one in them here. Then OKC Denver, game 3. In Denver, love this. The series shifts to Colorado. The Nuggets are 5.5-point underdogs at home. And that's who I'm going to take, because I feel like OKC, having just absolutely shit-pumped Denver in game 2, I think they win this game 3, OKC. Because this is if Denver lose this game, the series is over. Simple as that, right? But Jim, it's only 1-1. Yeah, Denver desperately need to win this. I fully expect OKC to win this in a close game. But I also expect Denver to give us a little bit more of that heart of a champion vibe. And if I'm going to get 5.5 points with this Denver team when they're at home in Colorado, backs against the wall, knowing that if they drop this game, it could get very fucking squirrely very fucking quickly. I expect Denver to put up a big fight. And if they don't win outright, I think they keep it close if OKC sneak out a win. It's going to be massive. It's going to be an awesome game. I cannot wait for OKC Denver. It's gonna fucking rock. How good are all of these series as well? It's just so much fucking fun. Anyway, so my vibe on that one is Denver backs against the wall. They could easily win that one at home, especially getting 5.5. But I think OKC are really good. I think OKC can win this game. But I think this is the one that's really fucking close. It's going to be a fascinating setup. And then Sunday. What time do we start the Sunday games? Let's have a quick look. We have Boston Knicks game 3. A mate of mine is going. I'm wildly jealous. This Boston Knicks game is at 5:30 our time Sunday. Jesus. Checks out though. Then Minnesota Golden State's 10:30. Nice. Boston are 5.5 point favorites in MSG, having lost games 1 and 2 at home. And I'm going Boston. The most Knicks... people have already gone, Jim, why do you hate the Celtics? I don't hate the Celtics. I hate their fans. No, I love your guts. The part is, like, there's just so much, like, hype around Boston, the Knicks. It's just they're built different. It's like, are they really? Are they? But more importantly, it's the hope that kills you. And my favorite fucking thing is Knicks fans getting up and about and then having their hearts absolutely broken in the worst possible way. I am an equal opportunity hater. I'll hate the Boston Celtics, the New York Knicks, the LA Lakers, most of the teams that aren't my beloved Seattle Supersonics or my plucky little Detroit Pistons. But Boston, I think, will hit a cajillion threes in one of these games and win one of them. I think it's game 3 because the Knicks fans have got their hopes built up just so desperately and so much that it's almost inevitable. The pride comes before the fall. I think the fall is going to happen in game 3. The Boston Celtics are so good, the Knicks could easily not win another game in this series. I'm just saying. I think they might, but they could also not. Let's go Boston minus 5.5. And then Minnesota Golden State game 3. How this is only Minnesota minus 4.5, I do not know, but I'm going Minnesota minus 4.5 in Golden State on Sunday at 10:30 Australian time. Because the Wolves are good. The Warriors are good, but they do not have Steph Curry. The Wolves at home without Steph, I just can't conceivably back that. I've got to go Minnesota. I guess the thing is, if you look at it with Ant-Man's ankle in mind and you go, well, he might be a bit of a game time decision. I think he's going to fucking play through it anyway. He is an absolute maniac, is Anthony Edwards. You can just tell by his sheer unwillingness to stop having kids with random chicks. It's not hard, right? To not have kids with random chicks. One of the easiest things to do. Anyway, Minnesota minus 4.5 over Golden State. Golden State definitely without Steph. Minnesota perhaps with a hobbled Ant-Man. I still like them a little bit too much. And then we'd swing back around to Monday for game 4s. Obviously, it's a bit silly doing picks for these, but at 5:30 in the morning, OKC Denver. I think if OKC win game 3, I think they also win game 4. And then Cleveland Indy game 4. I fully expect Cleveland to go into Indy and win both in Indy because the Cavs are good. The problem is the health. And if they don't win game 3, they could very easily get swept because if Mobley is actually hindered, if Garland can't move, if Hana doesn't add anything, the Cavs could absolutely get swept. But they are that good that it wouldn't be a giant surprise if they went into Indy and won both of them. So that's where I'm leaning for Monday's picks already. OKC and Cleveland, both on the road, both winners. But of course, we'll probably do a Sunday Tins with Jim on Sunday night to wrap up. Well, not to wrap up. We probably won't do a show, but we'll probably do a video that night for Monday morning's games because I think that's another 5:30 start for OKC Denver on Monday. Either way, that's it for today. Good stuff. That was fun. I'll tell you what, it's been a long day already. And it's only going to get longer because I'm going to go see Dear Seattle up at the Croxton, which is going to be awesome. I fucking love Dear Seattle. What a band. But either way, that's it for today. Remember, you can follow all those picks over at Double. Use the code NBA Straight to follow, copy along. Smash the link in our show description or in the link in our bio. You can also shout us a beer or a coffee if you want. That'd be much appreciated. Love all you guts who have actually done so already. You guys all fucking rule. But that's it for today. That's it for this week. In the meantime, make sure you're following NBA Straight on Twitter, Facey, IG, TikTok, and YouTube. We'll be back on deck on Monday to wrap up the weekend for you. Get around NFL Australia with myself and Gaz. That's always pretty good. And chuck us a rating and review on your Apple Podcast, your Spotify, YouTube Music, whatever app you use on your weird Android phones. Rate, review, star, subscribe, whatever it's got on it. It would be much appreciated. I'd love you forever. I already do. Who are we kidding? Come on. Big thanks always go to From Oslo for the intro and outro song. They rule. So do House Hatch, Joshua Delarentis, Fascinated Gold Mines, Ramshackle Army, iOS, Sex Shadow, Green, and Dozers. They're behind all the tunes you hear throughout the show. So smash them all on Bandcamp, Triple J and Earth, Face Apple Music, Spotify. Remember, NBA Australia supports Australian bands. So should you. All right, that's it. I'm going to go see Dear Seattle tonight. Can't wait. It's going to be awesome. If you're going to be there, say g'day. I'm going to go with a big red beard. Should I wear the Tatum Simpson payback t-shirt? Probably something else. Either way, we will catch you on Monday, you dickheads. This is NBA Australia saying, look after yourselves, would you? And, well, maybe we'll do like a Sunday night show if everything goes fucking squirrely and crazy, like Boston lose again and it's just fucking nuts, right? We might have to do one, but either way, keep your ears peeled. Righto, we'll speak to you next time. Look after yourselves, would you? Have a great weekend, and let the hose on! G'day legends, your mate Jim from NBA Australia here. That's right, I'm doing a thing at the end of the show. In the business we call it a thing at the end of the show, I guess. I don't know. Either way, all I'm just saying is just make sure you're rating, reviewing, starring, subscribing across all of the apps that you use for NBA Australia. Jump in the comments, give us a shout. We'll bang you in the air, nahs. Any other questions? I'll have a crack. I've got nothing better to do, basically. Also, just ask any questions, tell me what you want to hear from the show, and sing out and let us know. And of course, if you want to help support the show, jump on the old dabble, use that code NBA Straya, click on the link that's in the show description or on the socials. It goes up whenever I do the morning vibes, etc. So, if that's your thing, jump on there, use that code NBA Straya, and remember, look after yourselves, would you?